days. Joining me now to discuss is Democratic Senator from Colorado, Mark Udall. Senator Udall, thanks for joining me. Could you tell us a little bit more in detail what this bill does, and do you have any Republican support for it?
Alex, you were right in your introduction. The minefield the Supreme Court entered through the Hobby Lobby decision is deeply concerning to me and many Democrats here in the Senate. Senator Murray and I joined forces to introduce what we're calling Not My Boss's Business bill that would return us to the days just a few weeks ago when you didn't need your boss's permission when it comes to your own health care needs. As far as finding additional sponsors for the bill, I'm optimistic that there'll be some Republicans in the Senate who join us. I don't have names for you just yet, but this is important to women across the country. I know you've heard a lot from your viewers. It's outrageous what the Supreme Court did, but we can return to the point at which you make your own decisions by passing this simple, straightforward piece of legislation.
Senator, Justice Alito seemed to try and imply that this was a narrow ruling, but in the days since it has proven to be anything but. And on Friday or on Thursday, the court freed Wheaton College in Illinois from the religious exemption process, saying the college effectively only had to turn in a note saying the contraceptive mandate was too onerous. That's a whole nother can of worms, if you will. Does Congress plan on doing anything about that?
Well, we're going to push the effort that Senator Murray and I brought forth here today, but I'm going to take a hard look at what Wheaton College now can do. And again, I want to just reference what Justice Ginsburg pointed out, which is that you've entered a minefield. This decision was misguided, and we've got to take the steps now to push back and ensure that women make their own health care decisions. You know, this is not only about being able to live your life the way you want to live it, but it's about economic empowerment. And it's also about having the health care choices available to you. And it's not just about contraceptives. It's about all kinds of medical procedures. And if your boss decides he or she doesn't like the provision of those through your insurance plan, you can be restricted from having that kind of access. That's just not right. It's not what the Affordable Care Act intended to do. It's not what the people of Colorado think our health insurance system ought to provide.
Senator, it feels a little bit like a game of whack-a-mole, where you have one workaround, another issue pops up, and there are some folks who said, look, Congress needs to act more broadly and should amend the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, the RFRA, and specifically create a carve-out or some provision that prohibits discriminatory policies from taking effect. Do you think Congress will take this up? Do you have any interest in a sort of broader piece of legislation to amend future wrongs?
I'm going to survey the Religious Freedom Act. As you know, it was passed to protect individuals in the workplace, not to give corporations and bosses protection, not to put bosses in charge of your own health care decisions. So we need to, in the short term, correct what the Supreme Court did, and then we need to look more long term at the Religious Freedom Act. By the way, one of the authors of that, of course, was Ted Kennedy, who took a second seat to none in protecting religious freedom, but also took a second seat to none in protecting a woman's right to choose.
Indeed he did. Senator Mark Udall, always great to see you. Thanks for your time.
You too, Alex. Thank you. Let's keep on this.
For sure. Congress.